Everyone, welcome back. This is Professor Hank. So today we're going to talk about function templates in C++. We'll talk about what they are and we'll see examples of how we can use them. So let's go ahead and get started. So what is a function template? Basically, it's a way that we can do some generic programming so that way we can write one function that can work with any data type. So what we're going to do is we're going to specify the function and then we're going to substitute parameters for data types. And so then when the compiler comes across a call to that function, it's going to generate the code to handle that specific type used in the function call. So how is this useful, or how could it be useful? Well, imagine if you had, for example, a function that was supposed to add up two numbers. So you've got something that looks like this. You might do int add and int a, int b, and then you simply want to find the total and then return that total, right? So the sum of a and b and return total. Okay, fine, that's going to work just great if you want to return or add two integers together. But now what if you want to add two floating point numbers together? Well, then you could write a second function. You could overload your integer version and do something like this: add float a, float b, and then you're going to have your total in here, float total, and then you're going to add those things up, and then you're going to return that total, right? So this is kind of, I mean, this works, but it's kind of annoying because these two functions essentially do the exact same thing. The only difference is the data type. So with function templates, what we can do is we can say, well, let's just write one function that'll work for both. Okay, so instead of doing both of these things, what we'll do is we will use this keyword type name, which will allow us to specify a generic type, which is kind of like a placeholder for a data type. So I can use this keyword template, and then I'll do type name, and then I'll specify some name here. It could be whatever I want it to be. It could be something like dog or cat. It doesn't matter, but by convention, it's usually like a T. So we'll do that. Now what we'll do is we'll replace all of the data types with that T instead. So now we'll say T, 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 okay? So now the compiler, when we make a call to this thing, what it's going to do is it's going to say, oh, okay, well, we're going to see that you're passing, say, integer arguments, or we're going to see that you're passing double arguments, and then it'll generate the code you need on the fly. So this provides like a blueprint for how to add two things together, no matter what those things are. So let's see this in action. So let's say that I wanted to add a couple of integers. So I might do something like this. I might say int sum equals, and I'll call my function add here, and then I'll just pass it to integers. And now the compiler is going to look at that and go, okay, I know what to do. Going to have 5 and 7. So those are both integers there. So then it's going to generate the code, make these all these t's become the integer data type automatically without us doing anything. Okay, so then when we see out our sum, then we're going to see that we're going to get our, what is that? 7 plus 5 is 12 on the screen. So you can see right there that we get our 12. Okay, now we can also use the exact same function definition, function call, to work with floating point numbers. So we can do something like this. We can say double result is equal to add 5.1, 3.6, and then we'll see out that result. And then you'll see that that's going to work just fine. So there's our result, 8.7. So we wrote one function definition, one template, and we're able to use that function in all kinds of different ways. Now let me show you another example here. And in this example, it's possible for us to have, or you're going to see that it's possible for us to write a function template that has different types, that can support different types. So in this example, we were just using the same type, right? It was all integers or all floating point numbers, but we can specify different types. And so how are we going to do that? Well, what we're going to do is we are going to create a second type parameter name here, right? So we'll just do something like this. We'll do type name, and we'll do, say, u, okay? And then we'll call this function largest. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the size of two different data types. So we will do something like this. We'll say if the size of, so that size of operator, A is greater than the size of B, then we will return size of A. Otherwise, we will return the size of B. So with this, we can have, we can pass this as arguments. We could pass like an integer and a char. We could pass a double and a double. We could pass a float and a short, and it's going to work just fine. So if I do something like this, cout largest, and then I do 5 and 3.8. Okay, so this t is going to become an integer, and then this u is going to become a double. So then this is going to return 8, right? Because a double is 8 bytes and an integer is just 4. So let's see the results of that. So you can see there's our 8 bytes. Now I can also pass, say, a character. So let's say that I did something like this. If I said 5 and say C. Now this U is going to become type char, and this 5 is going to become type int. Right? So you can see that we're returning 4 here because why? Because an integer is 4 bytes and a character is 1 byte. So you can mix and match the different data types as well. Now let's talk a little bit about how you can design your template. And a good way to get started with designing a template is kind of how I did at the very beginning with that add function, right? So you can write a function that's going to accomplish the basic logic that you want to accomplish. So let's say that I wanted to find the square of numbers. If I wanted to just have a function that would square numbers. So what I could do is I could say, well, int, and then square int a, say, right? And so now what this is going to do is this would return a times a. So that gives me my logic for a basic function that'll square integers. So if I was to call that function and I passed it 3, what am I going to see in the output? I'm going to see 9, right? Because 3 times 3 is 9. So now I know that I have something that works to square numbers, but now I want to use this for any type of number. So then I'm going to go in and I'm going to get my template keyword here, and then I'm going to say type name T again, and again you can use whatever you want. I'm just using T because that's by convention, and then I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to swap all the data types that I want to be able to change based on the argument in my definition. So now my square 3 works just fine, but I could also do cout square 1.2, for example. Right? So you just start off with a version of your function that will work for one data type, and then you templatize that version of the function as I just showed you right there. Now to finish up, I want to give you a few things to think about, a few warnings, a few potential pitfalls here. So you can see that in my square template here, this works just fine for integers, for floating point numbers, but keep in mind that if you want to use this template like that, it's fine, but anything that you pass as an argument to this function needs to have the operations defined for multiplication here. So what does that mean? Well, if you wrote your own classes and you tried to pass an object that's an instance of one of your custom classes, then this is only going to work if you overloaded that multiplication operator. That's number one. Number two is that this definition right here, this doesn't actually allocate any memory yet, right? Nothing happens here. This is just a blueprint that is specifying what the compiler should do when it comes across this function call. So no memory is actually allocated by the template itself. The third thing to keep in mind, number 3, is that every one of these guys here, every one of these type parameters that's in this little prefix here has to be used at least once in the function. So if I created type name u here, then I have to see how everything went squiggly all of a sudden, because you have to use both of these guys at least once within the function, right? So the t is being used, because here's the call, but the u isn't being used, so that's why it's complaining. Fourth thing I want to mention to you is that you can overload template functions just like you can overload anything else. So for example, if I had a function called sum and I wanted to sum up a couple of things, then I could return my a plus b. So this will be great for adding up 2 items that I pass as arguments to this function. So I could do, cout sum 1, 2. So that'll work just fine. We've seen that. But what if I want to overload this? What if I want to sum up 3 things? Well, then I can overload this just like you could any other function, right? So I could add a third parameter here. So maybe we'll do TC, and then we'll add these three guys together. So now I can call a function with 3 arguments as well, right? The overloaded version. So 1, 2, 3, and that's going to work just fine. So when I compile and run this, you're going to see we got the 3 first, and then we got the 6. So you can overload function templates just like you can any other function. All right, so there you go. Now you know the basics of function overloading in C++. So that's going to bring this video to a close. Remember, as always, if you're a student of mine and have questions about any of the content in this video or any of the other videos in our courses, please feel free to stop by our Zoom office hours or email me via Canvas. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.